Hi, I'm Dr. Denise O'Neil Green, and I'm the executive editor of Institutional Diversity blog. And today I just wanted to share with you a few of my thoughts in relationship to the Starbucks recent campaign, Race Together. So, really, Starbucks? Race together? Race together towards what? How about racing together towards understanding each other's humanity and recognizing each other's humanity and valuing each other's humanity? I commend Starbucks for wanting to jump into the fray and talk about race. Talking about race is such a very difficult, polarizing, and emotional discussion to have. And typically, corporate America wants to stay as far away from it as they can. But it's a very difficult thing to do. And many of us are still working through how to do it the proper way. And I just like to share with you three different approaches that you might want to try in engaging the topic of race. So let me start with Microaggressions in Everyday Life by Dr. Daryl Wing Su. We actually brought Dr. Daryl Wing Su to Ryerson University in February, and he talked about microaggressions in a way that really helped not only people of color, but white people to understand how these different microaggressions can have a macro impact. And in understanding microaggressions, that there are very different racial realities that people have. There's a racial reality for white people, and there's a racial reality for different groups of color. And understanding that those realities do not match up shows us how we miss each other, how we talk past each other. But this is a way to engage the discussion and be able to understand what those differences are and begin to recognize each other's humanity. A second approach is to look at it from the standpoint of Dr. Beverly Tatum. Why are all the black kids sitting together in the cafeteria? This is by Dr. Beverly Tatum, and she focuses on our very different racial identities and how we develop those through life. When you look at white individuals, they also have a racial identity, but oftentimes don't recognize that they have. And then people of color, black people, Hispanic people, many other types of groups, have their own racial identities that they develop. And again, when you examine the differences in how we develop in our racial identities and how we view them and how we behave based on them, it begins to show a picture of a disconnect. So again, recognizing each other's humanity, recognizing each other's identities and how they develop differently can help us begin to come together and address those very big gaps that we have in our experiences. And then finally, there's facilitating intergroup dialogues. And facilitating intergroup dialogues is based on three authors, and let me say, it's Dr. Kelly Maxwell, Dr. Baron Nagda, and Dr. Manita Thompson. And these three authors put together a book to help us understand how to actually facilitate intergroup dialogues around very polarizing topics, such as race. So, with that said, the bottom line is before you even engage in race, I would say know thyself. Know about your own racial identities. What are your own triggers? How do you see yourself? Having a thick skin is very important when you engage in these topics because often people react in a way that is very defensive. Number one, because they really don't know, and it's a way of challenging how they see themselves. And oftentimes, many of us are very unconscious that we're actually expressing microaggressions towards someone else, or we're not understanding the different identities that people have and how they see themselves. So looking at these different approaches can be a way of helping all of us race together towards understanding each other's humanity. So you take care, and I hope to see you again.